Welcome
to
Sleepdrunk.
Sleepdrunk, where
my mother described it as like onion soup, and it's fucking pungent. It's strong, you know.
So Alex, it has been a while since we've been on a normal episode. It's been a hot second.
Yes, it has. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, we had our back-to-back host specials, which we hope you enjoyed. If you have any feedback for them, hit us up. Social media, you know where to find us. Tweet us at SleepdrunkPC. And it has been less than a minute since the episode started, and I've already plugged Twitter.
Yes, you have. Wow,
it's a record.
Really unnecessarily aggressive, but
that was
okay.
a Sleepdrunk record.
But I enjoyed my vacations, but nevertheless, we'll get into that in our extra long discussion avenue segment, which will be coming after Alavi.
After our segment on the GQ Essentials series, which is a YouTube series that we'll talk about in a little bit. So without further ado, Alex, do you want to hear about some essentials?
Yeah, give me the essentials.
Okay, so the essentials about GQ Essentials. It's basically a YouTube series, and there'll be a link to it in the show notes, like a playlist with all the videos in it. It is
something I want to hate.
Well, no, so it's a YouTube series where basically different celebrities break down what is in essence their EDC. It's like we did an EDC episode a while ago, a long time ago, actually. I think it was episode 6, I want to say.
Oh, so I actually do know what this is ever so vaguely.
Yeah, so it's basically like a celebrity EDC series. And the reason I want to talk about it is because there's a few people on there.
He saved the best for last, I see.
We'll talk about it. I'm this thing is a surprise, Alex. Don't you say anything. You have to listen the rest of the segment. The reason I picked the GQ Essential series is because I think a lot of them have some really interesting aspects of the EDC. Like for some people, it's just kind of like, oh, you know, they have a backpack and a laptop and whatever. But some of them have some particularly interesting like parts of their everyday carry.
I feel like that's the point of the episode, because nobody wants to hear that some celebrity has some boring
Zed has a MacBook
crap that literally everyone else has.
No, of course.
They got to throw some random quirky and random things in there that you just have to get to know them.
See, there's another benefit to this, Alex, of course, and that is SEO. We get to put a bunch of famous people in our tags for YouTube. So, if this is your first episode of Sleepdrunk, we hope you enjoy it.
I mean, hey,
welcome,
we're not
welcome
lying. It's not clickbait.
It's not clickbait. This is not clickbait.
Is it clickbait if you put not clickbait?
I think that like doubles the clickbait coefficient. Because like 2 negatives make a positive.
It's true.
Yeah. So, without further ado...
2 wrongs don't make it right.
Yes, they do not. But, so to start off, I'm going to start off with someone I found probably one of my favorites, and that is YG. YG is a rapper from California, and he tries so hard to hide the fact that he's a criminal. Like, when you go through his stuff, right, first off, some of his ones I want to highlight are the first one he put, right, right out the gate, he's like, hey, this is my first essential, tequila. Blanco tequila.
Okay.
The man likes tequila. And actually, I heard an interview of him on The Breakfast Club, which is like a radio show podcast. And one of the hosts asked, so what makes you happy in life? He's like, tequila, my
I'd
daughter.
say not much else. The author of the famous song My Neighbor
Yes.
could not have a very happy life.
But he likes tequila. But a few other things is that when he mentions certain things, right? For example, his go-to scent is Bleu de Chanel, which is like a pretty like well-known perfume. And he says, I'm waiting for them to come out with a red, and I'm like, oh hey, it's probably blood, like whatever, right? Then later on, right? He pulls out a bandana. He's like, here, I got this red bandana. Red is my favorite color, and nothing else. I like to show people my favorite color so we can get along. And it's like, everyone knows he's a gang member, and I don't think it's for comedic reasons that he's hiding it.
No, that's so put on.
It's like, and another thing is, later on he pulls out like a knife, which I think he's good to carry a pocket knife. It's pretty useful. He's like, this is for really important, cutting wires. I use it to cut wires and nothing else.
Not boxes or
nope, just wires. Little we know, YG is actually an electrician. This
Side
whole
note,
time.
Never use pocket knives to cut wires or metal.
You use wire cutters. Like
that's awful for them.
Like, and I feel like if you're in a scenario where you're cutting wire, you should
maybe he does use them to cut wires and nothing else, because if you do cut wires with your knife, you're not going to be able to cut anything else.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I feel like we should get him on the show and see if he can clarify this for us. YG, if you want to come on the show, you can email us at business@sleepdrunk.net and we'll get back to you. I mean, we actually do have like a couple of viewers or listeners from California. That I saw that on our stats. So if you happen to be YG, our Californian listeners, shoot us an email.
Let me look up those chances. How many listeners are there? Excuse me. How many listeners are there in California?
Like 1 or 2, maybe more.
All right, here, and according to Wolfram Alpha, the population of California is 39.54 million people as of 2017. So if we take 2 and divide it by 39.54 million, that gives us a really small number.
You know what? It's bigger than 0.
On the order of magnitude of 10 to the negative 8.
It's bigger than 0. And that's all that matters. It's bigger than 0. So if you are YG, hit us up, email us, you know what to do. I actually do like a couple of the songs, like not like super into them, but hey, YG, if you're listening, I'll get on the show. If you know YG,
there's no way he's getting on it after hearing that. You ruined your chances there, bud.
We'll find out. Maybe he's forgiving.
You know, I love them. I love your music.
Yeah. You know what? We'll find a way to get you some tequila.
Yeah, we have tequila.
We will get you tequila.
I think I might know a way.
I'm thinking about another part of that video that I found pretty funny. So in the end, right, he says his last most central thing. He says, "Hummies." What did I just say, Alex? What do you think I said?
That's a good question. I was hoping that you'd clear that up.
See, okay, so if you put on the YouTube caption, it says hummus, right? And when I first heard that, I'm like, hey, you know, maybe he likes my trend, maybe he likes hummus. Of course, he's talking about his homies, you know, his friends, his compatriots. And I don't know why he said it that way. I never hear him say it that way anywhere else. Just that one time, he said it like hummus. Maybe he likes Sabra, but he's got a brand new with Sabra.
He's just a real proficient culinary master.
I mean, I like hummus too. Hummus is good. I quite enjoy it, but like, is it essential?
I've never had it.
It's nice. It's like the flavor's quite light. I quite like it with like chips and stuff. It's a great dip.
I've never had it. I just always keep it in my bag.
But I mean, hey, if he probably loves Mediterranean food. You know what? I respect that. Mediterranean food's great.
Too. I respect that too.
Yeah. So I think moving on from our potential fan YG,
of course.
Tyga is another artist who has made a pretty big comeback in recent years.
A potential fan.
A potential fan. But so Tyga, he's a hip hop artist that has had a pretty good comeback in recent years. Like I was saying, he released an album, had a few really good songs on it, and the one thing I wanted to mention here, or two things actually, was he talks about how much he uses Postmates on his phone, right? And he Postmated a remote for his Apple TV. It's like, why? Why do you need an Apple TV remote like that urgently?
What is Postmates?
It's like a delivery service. So like you can just have them deliver things. Like the whole thing, they can deliver anything. So like they'll drive to Best Buy
really
and
expensive delivery that's immediate.
Well, no, they also do like food too.
Oh.
Like it's just like a general delivery service. So you can have them do like food, drinks, Apple TV remotes. He also had his AirPods delivered.
Just
why,
like
I don't know.
Amazon Prime?
I mean, I think when you have the amount of money he does, because later on, actually one of the reasons I picked him was because he has like a 2-pound chain that he keeps with him.
Okay, maybe this probably doesn't apply to Tyga. I mean, no, it does not apply to Tyga. But if you are the common, more practical rich person that falls in the lower, the lower percentiles of the 1% or whatever percent. I hate that term, but.
The 90. If you're in like the 1% of like that 99,
keep a lot of your wealth by just being frugal.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
not
squander
having things delivered by
Postmates
people
every single time you need it. But
I mean, who knows? Maybe he was like one of Philip DeFranco's codes and got $100 in delivery credit. Because Philip DeFranco is sponsored hard by Postmates.
I kind of doubt that he watches Philip DeFranco, but
he might like being informed.
He can do him.
Tyga might appreciate being informed.
I mean, I think we can all appreciate that, but
yeah.
Moving right along.
But so the reason I picked him was because he carries around like a 2-pound Cuban chain that he wears around his neck.
Yo, that's illegal.
Cuban style there. But like I'm just like he says it leaves welts on the back of his neck when he wears it. Just have a towel under it.
What?
So
actual okay.
Why would you carry a chain that heavy? Like I can imagine when you pack for it, like you could get a lot of stuff with the amount of weight that thing has. Like 2 pounds, that's like a couple shirts. Like that's extending your trip by a few days clothes-wise.
That's okay.
Like, I mean, to each their own, he has the money to buy that kind of chain. He has the money to Postmate his Apple TV remote. But yeah, Tyga. That's about it. Moving right along, Schoolboy Q. There's a lot of hip hop artists here. We have a bit more variety going down, but Schoolboy Q. I actually kind of forgot why I put him on here. I know he like smokes like raw tobacco leaves. He carries those, which is kind of interesting, I guess. I'm just like mentally going through all the stuff he carries.
I feel like you should have put this in there.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I made these. See, I'll get into this more during Discussion Avenue, but I've been very lazy the past few days, and I did my show prep in the mall like an hour ago. So,
oof.
Let's see. No, I think there's a reason. He carries like 20 different pairs of grills, or at least he carries some of them and like swaps them out, which is I guess kind of cool if you like grills. He carries a rangefinder. Like he plays a lot of golf. Like they shot his interview at a golf club, like not like on a club, but like a country club. Like they shot. Like could he not make it to the studio? Why did they have to go out to the golf place to shoot with him?
Because it's Schoolboy Q, dude. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I
mean, he's not that famous. Like, I'm gonna be straight up.
I don't know, man.
He has a few good songs. It's not that famous. Like, is he? I mean,
maybe he wants to think he can do whatever he wants, but like he can't. But like,
I mean, who knows? Maybe the people at GQ are just super accommodating. Like they're like, hey, you're at the golf club. We'll come to you.
Have to be
we got
these celebrities that think way too much of themselves, but
yeah. But I mean, speaking of celebrities that think way too much of themselves, next on the list is Ninja, of Fortnite fame.
Oh god.
Actually, his was pretty like
standard.
It was a pretty average EDC, but one of the things I wanted to mention is that like he like always wears sweatpants.
Does he always have his sick Alienware with him though?
Actually, no. He uses Beyerdynamic headphones.
Alienware?
Yeah. I think he has a custom built PC because.
No, but like, what if you got a Fortnite on the go?
That's what he uses his Samsung Galaxy Note 9 for. That he totally was not given by Samsung, that he did not receive at all. Actually, I don't know if he did. He might have bought it. I don't know. I'm not a huge Ninja fan. But he also brought his own merch with him, like into the interview. Like, he's talking about how he needs hoodies, right? And so he pulls out his like Ninja hoodie. If I'm gonna be completely honest, a big reason I put him here is for SEO because Fortnite World Cup happened.
Fortnite,
so it's a little bit clickbait.
Fortnite, boobies,
yeah.
Red
top
circles,
10 best Fortnite,
not clickbait,
free V-Bucks,
gone wild,
free V-Bucks,
John Wick.
But yeah, I mean, also I did want to mention he for someone of his stature uses a pretty like consumer grade hair product. He talks about how his hair product. I get that. Like, I understand the importance of a good hair product. I do. I don't talk about that during discussion. I have a brief update to my hair product situation.
Oh god.
But he just uses kind of like a pretty regular like pharmacy brand hair product, I believe. Yeah, I think. And I mean, it works for him. His hair is like, for the style he's going for, is pretty good. I will give him props on that. and for giving us some good SEO, I'll give him props. So moving on.
Ninja has
Joji,
the best hair in the entire world. That's the title.
he has the best Fortnite hair, Ninja Fortnite. Best Fortnite in the world. SEO, yes. So moving on, Joji, George Miller, formerly known as Filthy Frank. The main reason I picked him is because...
I did not know that.
That's his name.
George Miller?
His name's George Miller.
That's the actual name. Whitest name I've ever heard. That's great.
I mean, I think it's George, and in Japanese it's Joji. Like, that's why his stage name is Joji, because he's half Japanese, half Australian. But yeah, the man himself. The only reason I picked him is because he carries around what he calls Hanes singlets, like the little wife beater shirts, and he puts them on for when he eats, because he's that messy, and because he goes through 30 a month. How did he use that many Hanes? Also, the term singlet is great. He may have left YouTube, but he's still a comedian.
I have to look. Oh my god! Wow. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like this is something you found in his Filthy Frank days.
It very well might have been.
Also, the fact that isn't something that came back from his past to haunt him into his celebrityhood is purely amazing.
He really has made it out of YouTube. He escaped the mean streets of YouTube and actually really took off.
Some of the absolute garbage that was spewed from his YouTube channel, and none of it's come back to haunt him in any way, shape, or form.
See, I feel like it's because it's already sort of known. He is known as the guy that spewed vitriol on YouTube and has now moved past that. I think that's part of his shtick. Even if he doesn't express it, part of the reason he got big, it started off with, his YouTube fanbase was kind of like a springboard for him to go off of, right? And so that's still there. And I feel in, maybe, who knows, I just don't know if he'll ever really, if Joji and Filthy Frank will ever become fully separate, if you know what I mean. They're always going to be tied. He's always going to have that. I feel like
he's tried, though. He's definitely tried.
Oh, yeah, he has. He definitely has this himself from his, YouTube persona, for sure. So, moving on. The next one is Vic Mensa, who is I guess, rapper and also does some punk rock stuff. He's a weird dude. I saw his, actually, he's how I found this whole series. Was that I saw him... I saw it popped on my recommend. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I might look at that later. That was the first encounter with the series, and he's a weird dude. I heard one of his songs a while ago and assumed he'd just kind of be a pretty generic artist. He's a weird dude. To quote him, he has some grills in to look like a Guatemalan street urchin / merchant. He wears a leather jacket that he custom made with patches that has blood on it from a fight he was in. He wears jeans that have patches sewn on with dental floss. He smokes American Spirits, because, if you're going to smoke the best. That's what he said. If you're going to smoke American Spirits. We're not sponsored by American Spirits. We don't endorse the consumption of cigarettes. Don't do nicotine. If you're of age, do what you want. Vaping is bad. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else. He also wears narrow sunglasses. I'll send you a picture of, actually, so you have an idea of what they look like. But YG actually wears the same glasses. Hold on, let me look this up. Images.
I'd just like to interject here. Again, I really dislike celebrities.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, not the fact that they're celebrities and really them even as people, just the importance that society places on them. I think it's a little stupid.
So what you're saying is we live in a society.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's some more SEO for us.
How
would you describe to the listeners, Alex? Just give them an auditory description.
Well, I would say that his shade game's a little weak.
It's just they're sunglasses. Imagine Wayfarer.
I feel like they're really racist, and he's trying to make fun of Asian people.
Cancel YG. If you want to defend yourself, YG, once again, you can email us, sleepdrunk.net. We can arrange recording. It'll be great. You can defend yourself and show that you are not racist.
The problem with them is that they really don't look like they would stop any bit of sunlight at all. You would get just as much sunlight coming in over the top of those as you would with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, wearing a hat would actually be more effective.
But I mean, hey, you know what? He likes them. That's his thing. That's his shtick. Is it racist? Who knows? But yeah. So if Vic Mensa wears those two,
I feel personally insulted. That's
the
takeaway from this.
As a Pacific Islander.
Yes.
Alex is actually, in fact, partially Pacific Islander. Have I ever mentioned that on the show?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah. Well,
but I am, in fact, 1/4 Pacific Islander, Polynesian, Asian, whatever.
Yes. But so Vic Mensa wears those too, but he's a weird dude, man. He's a really I'm actually gonna recommend out of any of them to watch Vic Mensa's in the last one. We'll get to the last one actually. In fact, to get there faster, I'm just gonna skim over the next one, which is Machine Gun.
I'm not even sure who Vic Mensa is, but
yeah, he's an artist. He made a couple of songs that got kind of big, but he's a weird dude. Although, okay, one thing I will respect from him, he doesn't wear diamonds because he is originally Ghanaian, from Ghana. And so,
and he knows how bad
diamonds.
The diamond industry.
Yeah. I really do respect that. I legitimately really respect him.
That's something to respect. Diamonds are just in essence, a load.
Yes.
They're not really rare. I mean, they're rare, but they're not.
Rare.
There's no reason for them to be that expensive, other than the company.
The De Beers Diamond Monopoly.
Yep,
that's why. All right, with that, we can do an episode on that. I'm gonna write that down later as an episode topic.
Yes, do.
So next one is Machine Gun Kelly.
We could put them and Nestle in the same episode.
Sleepdrunk versus corporations.
Just oof title.
Yeah, but so the next one would be Machine Gun Kelly, who is known for starting beef with Eminem. That is why he's been in news in recent years.
I feel like that's a really, really bad reason to be known.
I mean, I think
actually, I'm the guy that started beef with Eminem.
I actually do. Okay, I think Eminem started it. Eminem called him out in a song, and then he responded. Then Eminem responded.
Still, if that's what your fame is.
I mean, he's also an actor, and he actually has a couple good songs.
Okay, as long as it's just the way you put it, that's what he's known for, is starting beef with Eminem.
I think that's what got him in the news recently. I'll put it that way. He was in the news for that. But actually, he does hip hop and also rock. He made a pretty nice rock song a while ago with Travis Barker. But I think one of the reasons, first off, he carries incense that was given to him by Sandra Bullock, the actress from was she in Interstellar? Was it?
Yes. I think.
Well, I feel no, it was another space movie.
It was one of those space movies. I can't keep track of all this.
Yeah, I remember Interstellar being good, but he got some incense and notebooks from Sandra Bullock, which is cool. And so I'm gonna gloss over him too. So the next person, and I think my personal hero, someone we should all aspire to be. The reason this segment is done, Action Bronson. He is a hip hop artist, chef, and visionary from Queens, New York, and basically all of the things he carries are hilarious. He opens up with, to quote him, "I never had a wallet in my life. I keep my money raw," and he just holds this wad of cash in his hands. Raw. Okay,
that is one term. That is a term that you can use to describe your money.
And so I think the first thing he loads up with is, they call it a vape pen. It's a dab pen. It's used for the consumption of hash, as he calls it. Then he follows just a few of the things he has. His essentials are, he has his pen, he has some notebooks, which, fine. He keeps a gun case with him that has a glass sculpture, which he uses to smoke from. He keeps a bunch of shoes. It's a glass sculpture of a cat, too. It's a cat glass sculpture with a little hole in top and a hole in the side that he uses for the consumption of substances. I'm not going to say which.
It's a glass vase.
No, it's an actual sculpture of a cat with holes drilled in it. Let's see. So he has his backpack. He keeps an iPad, which is fine. He just kind of carries a baseball because, baseballs, right? He keeps cocoa butter, not just any cocoa butter, stretch mark version for the added sheen he gets. He says he gets 3 days of sheen from it. 3 days of sheen.
I feel like a sheen is not something people want.
I mean, I think Action Bronson is the pinnacle of human desirability, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, clearly. You might not like it, but this is what...
that is the modern standard of beauty. He carries a hair straightener, which he uses. He has no hair. That's not his head. He carries a hair straightener to press his hash.
Yeah, his hash.
His hash. He keeps some beers. You know, he has his own brand of beer, which seems nice. He says it's like a sparkling wine with a little bit of. I'm not sure what it is, but it's there.
Yes, it does indeed have some of that.
It's fermented with Muscat grapes. He also carries a record called Bosphorus Bridges, which is a Turkish jazz funk compilation from the 70s, and that he draws inspiration from. And I think the best thing he carries... Oh, actually, no, one more thing. He carries Oakley M-frames, a type of sunglass that YouTuber Memeless once described as, I yell at my wife in public shades. And the reason... He carries another thing, right? One more thing I want to mention. Carries a little sock for his dog, in memory of his dog, and it contains a cactus quartz which holds his dog's spirit. His dog, Coquito Pedro Salazar Arslani I.
That defeats all known laws of naming your dog.
He just calls him Coco, but I don't know where to start with him, man. Like,
that's just like
how do you exist as Action Bronson?
You just
how do you get there?
And just in all levels, right? Emotionally, physically, spiritually, you just got to be thick.
I guess that's it. He's just, and also he's so thick. Like, I want to be Action Bronson. Like, I aspire to Action Bronson.
But we all can't be perfect.
Yeah, we all can't be. We all can't have Oakley's tattooed on our arm. He has Oakley's tattooed on his arm. I
mean, we can all have Oakley's tattooed on our arm.
Yeah, but no one wears them like he does, according to him. But
now that might be true.
Yes,
Nobody can wear Oakley's. Not all of us can wear Oakley's like he does.
Yeah, like no. We'll link. Like I said, his video and Vic Mensa, those are the two I think, if you're going to watch any of them, watch these. Like, they're amazing. But that's the GQ Essentials series. Alex, what are any concluding thoughts on what we've gone over today?
I'd like to say that I was right in my assumption that I'd probably hate it, and I kind of hate it. Other than that, sounds like there's some good gaffes, good goofs, a few laughs, and some just general thickness that can be taken from this. And
general, I feel like EX to your thickness. If you're gonna be completely honest.
But I mean, it's just thickness that's so thick it could apply to all.
Yeah, of course. It's like a general coating.
Just a sheen of thickness.
Yeah, a nice thick sheen. So, now that we've talked about some nice thick sheen, I think it's time we slide down the manhole of chat to investigate the giant boulder of wet wipes of debate in the sewers under Discussion Avenue.
Yeet. Forgot about the yeet. Gotta get that.
It's been a while.
So
Alex,
a little rusty on my yeet.
Yeah. So Alex, how have your last 3 weeks been?
Oh boy, my last 3 weeks. Fair amount has happened. It's honestly been so long that I can't remember everything that's happened. It started, I guess, off with the usual, some work, some Calculus 3, a little bit of booling with the boys. Yeah, I had me a calc exam. Right before I left, did okay, got an 87, and then I went booling that night, worked again the following night, then I got up the next morning, and my god, that was a long day. So this is Wednesday, July 17th. I get up that morning, I do my thing, I get ready, get all my crap ready, throw it in the car, and it's about, let's see, like 11:15 or so. I get everything in the car, and I set out. And I drive to the dentist's. And I go for my 12 o'clock appointment. I get all my crap checked over. And I feel like probably the second or third time in my life they didn't have anything to whine about.
Huh.
So that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
And then I left that. I went to the local shopping center where I work and where my bank is. And I went to my work, my place of employment, and I grabbed some funds and then gave those to my financial institution.
You would say you acquired bread and you deposited said loaf at the repository.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. Thank you.
They paid you in bread, like they are filling your cabinet. They have literally paid you with a loaf of rye.
And I keep my bread at the shopping center because even though they are paying me in bread, I still want it to feel like I'm going and buying it.
Like it hits different.
Yeah, it just tastes different. It's just, when it comes from the store, nice and fresh.
Different. Yeah, it's nice.
Anyway. I went to a nice Christian chicken sandwich selling chain that nobody's probably heard of. Like, it's real small, And I went through the drive-thru and grabbed me the not at all famous, like, you've probably never heard of it, just like, the standard number one. Yeah.
You received bread and acquired chicken, so you've become a subsistence farmer from the 1600s.
I really hate myself. All right, so that got shoved down my gullet, and then I went and threw my trash away at a gas station, and then I drove to school for my 2 o'clock class. So pretty busy little 2 hours there so far. My 2 o'clock class lasts until 5, which I hate. I barely have the attention span to handle that, even though I'm supposed to. Oh, I mean, I had like not the attention span to handle that at first, but that was improved by some medicine, thankfully. And then as soon as I left that class, I hopped in the car. God, the idiots out that day. Just, like, certain days you get in your car and you get on the road and it just seems like everyone that's out there on the road with you is just completely incapable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those days, and it lasted 6 hours, 6.5 hours after that. Showed up in Southern Ohio at 11:20, I think, and I left like 10 minutes to 5 because the class let out like a little early, which is like usually our standard time, but whatever.
So was it just you driving, or was it like you and your family?
Yeah, it was just me. Usually I have issues staying awake in the car for that long, but I was actually fine. I just had some music blasting, some good old bops. You know how it be.
Mm-hmm. And
then I had a good old time visiting family, doing some work, So I guess the first day we went and saw my paternal grandparents. And we don't usually stay with them because they're odd. They're fine, but they're odd. And I think my grandpa on that side, he's a little confused. Like he's not totally gone, but he's like, he's a little confused.
He's getting there.
But like he still remembers some things vividly clear, like abundantly clear. It's like, all right, like, okay, that's like sometimes he just repeats the same crap over and over again, and that's it's a little annoying. But this time my mom had been doing a little research into our genetic background, me and my brother, and she found some very interesting stuff, and she finally had my brother do one of those DNA tests, which I refused to do because of the weird privacy policies on those things. That's just something you should check up on if you're unaware.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some confirmation of a lot of the Asian that's in my brother, and I'm sure it's more prevalent in him than it is in me. I mean, you'd look at me and never know. But also something interesting showed up. He's 5.9% African.
Huh.
So we're a little confused as to where that came from. Like, nobody in our family has any sort of way to relate to Africa.
Could it be like South African?
No, it was the vast majority, region? Like 5%, over 5% was North African.
North African.
Very North African, and then there was this tiny little bit that was Nigerian. So it could just be an error, but like I feel like 5.9% is a little more than an error.
There could be some like southern Spain, and a lot of North African people like were in southern Spain because like
we also don't have any Spanish.
I mean, I'm talking like many 5%. Like that's a pretty big dilution. So
well, we don't even know if it came from my mom's or dad's side.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And so
I don't know.
Actually, no. If your dad's Hawaiian, right? Like partially Hawaiian.
Yeah.
There was a pretty big mingling of like Portuguese people or people from Portugal and Hawaii. So it could have been like someone North African.
I don't think that
going
to
Portugal, going to Hawaii.
Because
like,
what I'm about to get into, my grandpa was telling us about how I forget what our relation to this person is, but he said that this person that he is a descendant of came over when he was like really young, like less than 10 years old, in a canoe from like New Zealand or something. Like we're related to the Maori people, which is a New Zealand Aboriginal population, which are not actually related to the actual Australian Aborigines at all, which I found interesting. But like this sort of stuff, like he just remembers that, just abundantly clear, and I don't understand it, but it was very interesting to listen to. We've never heard any sort of things like that from him before, but he could tell us a lot about our Hawaiian family background. But, and I forget which one it was, but it was either his mother or his father that goes back to China, and then the other is Hawaiian and Polynesian. So yeah, my brother had about equal percentages of those, around 15% each.
Interesting. See, I've always wanted to try one of those, even though I'm aware of the weird privacy things, just because like my dad has all these like tall tales about how we're like partially Arab and we're somehow related to like a saint or something, and I've always wanted to see like how that pans out, because I know I'm mostly like Southern Asian, right, like the Indian subcontinent, but a lot of my family is really light-skinned for that area. Like some of my younger cousins could pass as white people, which makes me think there might actually be a good bit of Arabs somewhere mixed in there, because there are a lot of people like from the Middle East, like people from like Levant and from parts of Saudi Arabia that could really like actually just pass as white people. So I might do one of those later and potentially share the results, and give up my data to a company for whatever use they wish.
I would definitely research the privacy policies.
I've heard a lot about it. I've heard a lot about it.
We did MyHeritage. I don't know if they're good or bad, but that's what we did.
I mean, if it's anything, I know the CEO of 23andMe is the CEO of YouTube's sister. That's a power family.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
Also, probably unrelated, maybe not. I don't know. If this is what I would use to describe you, and I don't know if there is like I feel like there is, and I know that you're not Indian. But I feel like there is with generally the
Indian subcontinent.
A lot of Indians, like ethnic Indians, they seem to have a different facial structure.
They do, yeah, they do.
Like a distinct one.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't have that in any way, shape, or form like other South Asians or anything. I feel like you have the facial structure of just your average white guy, but you have dark skin.
I mean, I know my dad has been confused as Hispanic before, and that might be something. Yeah.
Anyway,
but who knows? Actually, I will. I'll do a bit of research, but I will probably just give up my data and put myself at risk for this show. And we'll find out what my background is, because actually my parents have wanted to do this too. So
maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I just have resisted doing it because of the privacy concerns.
Yeah,
and, having my genetic code owned by some company.
Yeah,
kind of no thanks.
But also, I would also like to do it for like the disease checking, like to see what your risks are. Because
I don't. Do I
have to like? I'm already. If you listen to episode 22,
I do not want to do that.
Like I already know I'm, and so I'd like to know if there's anything on the horizon.
About that, by the way, like you should maybe opt to not have them tell you the really the ones you can't do anything about.
Yeah. And I mean, like,
because I was hearing about some story where a woman did that and had them tell her about everything, and it said that she was at very high risk to develop dementia. And then every time she forgot something, she just like thought that it was dementia.
Yeah.
And then her life just kind of became wondering if you have dementia, and that's just awful.
Yeah.
It's no way to live.
That's fair. But things I already know that I'm probably screwed anyway. And so it'd be nice if there's anything like, I don't know, like Parkinson's on the horizon I might want to worry about. But who knows? Yeah, I'll look into it. I just
know I probably wouldn't do it, but I guess that's respectable.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along. Went and visited some family in another part of the southern area of the state. That wasn't super interesting. I just go over there and do a lot of IT work, because I am the
family IT
tech
guy.
Support of the entire family. So that's my life now. And then after that, what did I do? I just sort of hung around the house, I guess. At my grandparents' house, that is, and got a few things done for them. Just visited with other family in that area, because we have a lot. I mean, that's basically where all of my family's from. But I helped them install a few lights. So they had this one that went out over the kitchen sink. So I got this like whole new fixture. Okay, we were just going to change the bulb. And then I go to unscrew the bulb, and it has these two like nubs on the bottom. Instead of your standard Edison screw. And it was just one of those curly CFL bulbs. So that whole fixture had to go. And then we went to Lowe's and we bought all this crap. So we got them a new LED fixture that's actually really bright. It's quite nice. And it's nice looking as well. And we got them an under cabinet light, which was very easy to install. And it's just so useful in their house. And then lastly, we got this motion sensor light. So previously they had this motion sensor light that was over the carport that looked down on the driveway. So if you were moving there at night, then it would trip and turn on. And it was just, useful. But it's been there for so long, like probably since the carport was put up. And that's been way too long. And I went up there to check the thing out because they said it wasn't working right. And I just like tapped my finger on the lens of the motion sensor. And it sort of just fell in. So that had to go, obviously. So we took that down and we installed a whole new one that we got from Lowe's with yet again LEDs that were irreplaceable because they have like a lot of bulbs in there and they're made to be better than like a standalone LED bulb. And boy, okay, so we mount that thing up there and it's like all set, ready to go. We go flip the switch and a big old pop comes out of that thing and the breaker trips. So we untrip the breaker and I have it dangling by the little wires coming out just to like make sure this thing still works. And we turn it on and all is good. The lights come on, it's like whatever. And I notice there's a little black on the back of it. So,
little bit of an electric fire. Little touch. Just touch.
Itty bit.
Just touch.
Nothing would have burned though because it was on a carport. Yeah. But we go and we mount the whole thing back up again. Turn the switch on and pop. I saw like a spark shoot out of that thing, and it was on one of those electrical enclosures that aren't supposed to like let sparks out. So that was fun. We go and the screw that was used to mount the thing in there had penetrated through the old cable's jacketing. So that ruined that entire cable useless. And we had to rerun some new, up to code electrical wire from the switch out over the roof of the carport, which I don't even know if that's still allowed, but we did it. And out there, and then we hooked it all up, and we actually took some bolt cutters and cut the screw short because it was just like entirely too long. And then we put the thing back up. But anyway, that was just stupid things like that. And then not much else happened. Drove home really early on Monday morning with my mother alongside me. I gave her one of my handheld radios, and I was using the one in my car so we could like control traffic and weave around everyone. Huh. It's really nice to have someone to drive with, but a lot of the time I was just ahead of her, and like sometimes I got so far ahead that we were out of radio range. But anyway, as soon as I got back, literally as soon as I got back, I had about 5 minutes to haul my crap inside my house and then leave to go to class. Because Monday morning.
Yep.
So basically, as soon as I left class, the last class, I left to go to Ohio, and then I got back immediately to go to class. So, yeah.
Bookending.
And class, took the next day off, got ready, and then immediately after class on Wednesday, we left and went to James River State Park, which is just an amazing vacation. Just a great getaway. I went kayaking one day, and the rest I just spent, booling around the park and around the area. Except for there is no cell service with AT&T at that state park. Like, hardly any. It's almost impossible. But like, it was barely enough to like keep sending my Snapchat streaks and stuff. So I guess that's good. Also, my dad's friend came down and stayed with us, but that was just fun. And a lot of people are probably going to say, use Verizon. I can't get any Verizon near where my grandparents live, and I go there a lot more than I go to this park, so no thanks. Also, the bill.
Yeet.
Prepaid plans are through AT&T are just better. But anyway, we got back from that on Sunday. And then I immediately got back, did a bunch of homework, took another exam on Monday, got an 85 on that one, and I guess that'll be the one that's dropped and replaced by my final. And then went to class today. That's it.
Well, seems like the vacation seemed nice. I'm sure the park was nice. I guess moving on to mine.
It's a shame you couldn't come out with us like I invited.
Yeah, I wish I could have. I just I've had a really busy past couple of weeks. It's been proper busy. Let's see. So, 3 weeks is a long time. Okay, going back 3 weeks. Don't remember much of that first week. I'm assuming I probably was just at home with my family. Probably spent some time with my uncle, who was in the area. And actually, that might have been 3 weeks ago. Well, so my uncle recently bought a Tesla Model 3. And I used to be very skeptical of them. It's so nice. It's so nice. Like, the acceleration on it, the tech, for a long time, I was very much I wouldn't say anti-Tesla, but a bit more skeptical, because in a lot of cases, they're not actually that good for the environment, because if you're in a coal-powered region, it's arguably worse, and also lithium mining.
Usually it's not those kind of people that get Teslas. It's generally Prius people.
Yeah.
That aside.
But even there's a lot, even in the area, in Northern Virginia, right? There's a lot of people that buy Teslas, but a lot, to my understanding of our grid, is coal, and so it might not actually be that good. But
plus the electronic vehicle waste.
Yes. But I will say it's a very fun car. It's a very cool car. It's really cool. And I want one, but it's expensive, and I don't want to buy a Tesla. And servicing and charging. But
yeah, servicing definitely is a problem.
I think right now they have it leased, because they're feeling it out. So I think they have it leased for a year. And if they like it, they'll keep going. But it's really cool. I'll give them that. I am sold. I see the appeal now. It is not just a stable car. It's a really fun car. So yeah, that was cool. Let's see. I know I'm just gonna kind of go in order of things I remember, because I'm having trouble with my chronology. Let's see.
Chronology.
I had my wisdom teeth removed, and that was fun. That was fun.
So did you just get the make you really tired crap, or did you get the make you really high crap?
So they knocked me out, and then they made half my face numb. And so, actually, Alex, you may have seen, I sent a video of me talking into one of our group chats that we have with some of our floor members, our former floor members.
Yes, I took a screenshot of that. If you'd like, I can put that in the show notes. I'm sure you would appreciate it.
Just cover my eyes or something. But so here's the thing, right? During that video, basically I was just talking about how I'm okay and checking in. I was pretty, mentally speaking, I was all there, but I had gauze in my mouth and half my face was numb. And so, it's just communicating was hard. I could think fine. all of my thoughts were completely coherent, just I couldn't communicate them, and I couldn't tell my tongue from my lower lip, which is a weird experience. Really weird experience. So that took a couple days to heal, and then after that I actually drove out to Maryland on like the little weird like dangling Maryland tumor. I went there onto an island, and I went to like a local crab shack that my uncle found there while fishing, and it was really good. It was like some nice, like fresh, like really fresh local Maryland crab. It was delicious. I had some soft shell, and then we got like 24 female crabs, and like just as a group ate a bunch of them. That was really nice. You get very little meat from crabs. Like, you would think 24 is a ton of crabs.
No, yeah, that's like nothing. Crab meat is, it's good, but it's
very little.
hard.
And also they're
to
females,
get.
and female crabs are small.
Wow, crab sexist.
No, I mean, like, genetically, like, physically, they're small.
Wow, Alavi. Disgusting.
Cancel Alavi. So, that was delicious. Also had some soft shell. Soft shell crab is so good. It is so good. It's awesome. It's really good. It's like basically a soft shell crab is when it's basically a crab, but they pull it out of the water right after it molts, and so its exoskeleton hasn't hardened yet, so you can just kind of eat the entire thing and then just like fry it. It's so good. It's really good. Highly recommend soft shell crab.
I think I've had it once, but I don't remember anything about it or even if I liked it.
I loved it. In fact, I actually think that'd make a pretty good like weekend trip for our like group next year. We'll just be to drive out to Maryland before crab season ends and get some crabs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I'm spending the night, we have all sorts of time.
Yeah. No, but not even like, I'm talking about like once the semester starts, like as our group, like we can take a couple of cars and go up there.
I wasn't even like listening to that part, I guess.
But also Alex will be coming here to visit my place sometime soon. I think next week?
Next weekend,
Yes.
like not this coming weekend, but the next one.
Yeah. Also, I have something lined up since we can probably record then. I have something lined up for that, which is going to be fun. Which I will surprise you with then.
Alrighty, that's worrying.
But so I have something lined up for that. That's going to be fun. But so let's see. I had the crab. After that, on our way back, we stopped. Like basically, me and my brother were dropped off at like my best friend's house, who also lives in Maryland, like a different part. It lives more like near DC. So we spent the night there. Then we ordered a pizza, just kind of hung out, played some co-op Stardew Valley, had a great time. Then I came back, just hung around my place for days, like just recovering, getting used to like having a jaw, all that stuff.
Yeah, it happens.
That really does happen. Let's see. Also, before I had my surgery, once again, I'm not going linear chronologically at all.
Yo, let me get a jaw.
But I went on a walk with my mom and my brother, and I had a really good realization about what I want to do in the next few years, like with academics in college, right? And so I think this is actually just a random little tidbit of advice for anyone who might be undecided. I'll ask a question, right? Ask yourself.
Should be an econ major.
No. Ask yourself, why are you learning? Are you learning as a means to an end, or are you learning as an end in and of itself? And
as a means to an end.
Like, because you want to learn.
Like, I want
skills.
a job that I don't hate. Like, just something that I sort of enjoy, but just something that enables me to live the kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like no one's
me.
Yeah, no one's one or the other. Like, and both are fine. Both are perfectly valid. In fact, I think the earlier is a bit more valid than the other because of practicality. If I'm gonna be completely honest, but like both are perfectly valid, and no one is exactly
with that practicality. That pragmatism,
But they're not mutually exclusive. I found that I find myself a lot more in the latter category. Like, I really just enjoy learning things. Like, I like increasing the amount of knowledge I have.
So what you're saying is it's big brain time.
Yeah, no, here's the thing, and I enjoy learning, and also, like, going back, like, I enjoy teaching people, too. Like, in high school, I taught I helped teach beginning band for a while, and, like, I'm going to be a courseist next year, and it's interesting, because my econ teacher in high school, for IB Economics, he told me, like, he's like, at one point, Ram said, yeah, you have a future in academia, which I kind of shrugged off at the time, but looking back, he kind of had a point, and so I think that just, like, it didn't really change anything, like, career path-wise. Like, I still want to go into the same general career path, but it just clarified some things and helped me explain.
Just as long as you don't mean by that you're one of those people that wants to waste, like, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars going to college for just a bunch of useless BS.
It's like, from saying, like, I want to go, like, really, I just want to go into a research kind of field. Like, I want to go into economic development.
That's perfectly fine.
Which is, like, partially research, partially policy, partially, like, spreading knowledge. Like, really, I just feel like I find myself leaning a lot more towards, like, research than, like, getting an MBA or something. And so, yeah, that just kind of helped me clear some stuff up mentally. And it was a useful walk for me. That was nice. Yeah, so if you are in college undecided, ask yourself that question, and that might help you clear some things up. So... yeah, I did that. Then, okay, so a few days after my, so I think the Thursday after, so I had my wisdom teeth removed on Friday, so the Thursday after that Friday, almost 1 week, we went out for dinner with some family friends, and my parents were like randomly, hey, let's go over to their house and spend the night. And I was like, all right, cool. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and we're driving to New Jersey that day, but we'll figure it out. So we went ahead and did that. That was actually pretty fun. Like, we just kind of hung out. I've known them for a really long time. Like, we used to live near each other when we were living in Ethiopia. And so, like, we all just kind of ended up in the DC area. And so it was just really great spending time with them. I was up late playing Cards Against Humanity and Uno. I was like up at like 3 a.m. outside playing
Uno with real rules or Uno with stupid rules?
Uno's just stupid, man.
We're
I don't
gonna
like
have that
Uno.
argument right now.
I don't know the difference. I really don't.
Like passing on +2s.
I don't even know. I don't take Uno seriously.
Stupid, boy.
I think we had that. I don't even remember, man. Like.
But did you ever use that No You card?
Sure. Sure. I really don't care about... People take Uno really seriously. I have no idea why.
No, I'm not taking it seriously. I'm just memeing on Uno.
Yeah, I'm aware. But, like, still.
But that No You card, though.
But, yeah. So, played that. The next day I had to wake up and then haul back to my oral surgeon and have him check to make sure everything was good with my teeth, where they were. And I still have the sockets open, and, like, I've been getting stuff stuck in them, and it's a really weird feeling. And so if you have any advice on cleaning them out, like tweet us at
you just kind of like water pick them.
Yeah, I've been just like gargling, and that helps clear them out, like rinsing.
They gave me like this weird little syringe thing with a bent tip that I could use to aim at them and like spray crap out. It was pretty useful.
But I just gargle them and go away.
Gotta get used to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get used to it. I'll just find better ways to chew. And then this week, at some point during the 3 weeks, my dad came and joined us.
Idea.
In the apartment. Yes?
You can use them to keep your backer in, you know? Hey, man, brother, give me some more of that backer.
Oh. Sure, I very well might. I won't. So, yeah, at some point during those 3 weeks...
I am very well might.
Not. So my dad flew in. That was nice. We drove. Then Friday, a week after my appointment, we drove up to New Jersey to visit some family. That was always really nice. I ate probably the single biggest meal I've had all year. We went to a local Peruvian restaurant in Newark, New Jersey. The food is fantastic. It is so good. But we had like a... It is. It really is disgusting. I was worried I was going to get shanked, but the food was damn good. The food was great. It's a place called El Iman if you're in Newark and you want some good Peruvian food. It's so good. Basically, we had a few, like, so...
Hopefully you're not in Newark, because I'm sorry.
Well, if you are in Newark or you are... They're not in Newark. They're like, I think it was like a 40-minute drive. They're a ways away from Newark, actually.
That's not Newark.
No, so we drove 40 minutes to get to Newark.
So that's not Newark.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not in Newark. They're like tangential.
And you lied.
No, I said we drove to Newark.
I had faith in you, man.
We drove to Newark. But so we had so I think for that meal, right, there's 8 of us, right, 2 families of 4. They got 5 plates of this dish called lomo saltado, which is like, I probably butchered saying that, but whatever. It's like basically just kind of beef and French fries.
I could pronounce it correctly for you if you sent it to me. I'm actually pretty good. This is completely necessary, by the way. It's 100% necessary. Have to get the pronunciation correct every single time, otherwise you're an idiot. I would probably say that is it's going to be a hard lomo saltado.
Yeah, well, I had that. So it's basically like beef stir fried with like French fries and rice. It's delicious. But then on top of that, right, like they ordered. So we drove there in 2 cars because we didn't have one car that was big enough for both of us. We had 2 sedans, and so we drove there in 2 cars. One group got there before my group, and so they went ahead and just placed some orders all like right off the bat. And so they got 5 of those, which is like a ton. Like one is meant for 3 people, but we didn't realize that when we came in. It's like, oh, we'll just order, like, you know, it's like, I think my cousin picked up an empanada, and then, you know, my mom ordered some calamari and some ceviche. I got this wonderful dish called salchipapas, which is basically just hot dog pieces on french fries, and it's great. Like, I don't know why that's its own dish, but it's awesome. Got some of that. Then it basically comes down to the point where we had just, like, a whole order of food left, and we were all basically dying from fullness. Like, I had trouble walking. But
any like Latin restaurants that I go to, I feel like I always walk away with stomach pains, not because it's like poison or anything, just because like
it fills you.
It fills you.
Yeah, it was really good.
I almost made a joke that was probably a little too inappropriate for the show.
Might have been. We'll find out when we get demonetized, even though we are not eligible for monetization. But that was really good. That food was fantastic. I think the next day, I want to say that was the day before we left. I think I went to where my cousin works at Panera Bread. We got some very cheap food, which is always nice because Panera's expensive.
I was going to say, those two don't go together.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, they have a 65% employee discount, and so we got a nice discount on that. That was good.
Wish I got that. I get 50.
So had that, drove back. Let's listen to some radio on the way back. The last few days.
Wow, pleb. It's called Spotify. What are you even doing?
Well, no, because my parents, my dad was driving and he controlled the radio.
But like you got to pass that aux, man.
But like Bluetooth.
Or yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but so
aux of the future.
Aux, yeah, space aux.
Space aux.
That's the title of the episode. Space aux. There it is. Space aux. So we got back. I just spent like the last couple of days just spending time with my dad because like don't get to see him that often because living overseas, and so that was nice. He recently found out he has a stress fracture in his femur, and now has to wear a boot, and like he's been limping for a while, and that's why. And so that was interesting to find out.
Your dad?
Yeah. So my dad used to run a lot, and apparently it's pretty common in runners. So, yeah. Like, he used to run a lot. And then after, like, we moved to India, just less because we didn't have a treadmill. And running outside will give you lung cancer.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah, just a touch. And then, let's see what else happened. I've been doing some more cooking lately. Yesterday I made some roasted Brussels sprouts, which were really pretty good.
We're going to have to do the Brussels sprout comparison. Just saying. But
I mean, I'm sure they're simple. I just did like olive oil, salt, pepper, 25 minutes in on like 425. They came out fine.
All I'm saying is the place at which I am employed, the Brussels sprouts are pretty fire. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Because that is a restaurant. I am just a guy in my kitchen.
We are known for them, dude.
Damn, all right. And next time I go,
this woman came in and she got a to-go order and she ordered Brussels sprouts, and then we came up and told her we didn't have Brussels sprouts. She's like, dude, that's literally the whole reason I ordered out here. It's like, I feel that.
If they really are that good, I will give them a try. But they're perfectly fine home Brussels sprouts. And then I also decided to try cold brewing my own coffee. And so what I did was last night, I bought some grounds and just let them sit in a jug for like 13 hours while I slept. And so when I was filtering them, right? So the way you normally do is what you do is I use like a 4-to-1, no, I use a 2-to-1 ratio for grounds. Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio for grounds and water. So I couldn't be bothered to measure them correctly with like scales, so I just put 200 milliliters of coffee grounds and then put in like, actually no, I did 4-to-1. Yeah, I did 4-to-1, and then because I wanted to play safe.
2-to-1.
That was a lot. Yeah, I did 4-to-1. I think it's 2-to-1 with a different kind of grind. I think mine were a bit more finely ground. But, so, yeah, I did 4-to-1, and then I added some water, I let that sit. And then, so when I went to strain them, what I did is just poured it out and, like, strained them to get all the grounds out, to stop the steeping. I just kind of used, like, a Nalgene type bottle I just put a coffee filter in it and started pouring it in bit by bit, slowly filtering it. My mom comes up and decides, she can help out, right? And Mom, if you hear this, it's fine. I forgive you. But she actually punctured a hole in my coffee filter, and all of the grounds fell into the filtered stuff. So I had to filter them again. No big deal, right? I'm like, fine, it's kind of a pain, but I'll figure it out, right? So I got another bottle, the bottle I'm drinking out of currently, it's like a blue shaker mug, and I put a coffee filter in there, and I started pouring it from the Nalgene bottle into the blue bottle, and I'm like doing my thing, and intermittently I would pull up the filter and like squeeze it a little bit to just like compact the grounds in the filter and like push out the liquid, and it tore again. And a bunch more grounds fell into the now twice filtered solution. And now I hated myself. And so I dumped the rest of the Nalgene bottle into like my blue shaker bottle, washed it out, and put another goddamn coffee filter in it, okay? And I finally, after 3 attempts, managed to filter my cold brew, but it came out pretty good, and I am pretty happy with it, and I feel like this could be something that we could do in our apartment next semester.
Perhaps. I've always wanted to try cold brew, but I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you come on the 9th, I'll finish my batch, but it'll only last a week. Like, the way they say is, like, make it on Sunday and then it's enough for the whole week. But I will make some more, and you can try I just used some Starbucks grounds that I found in the grocery store for, like, a few bucks. But it came out pretty good.
Starbucks. Actually, he might have beans. I don't know. He has a grinder.
I mean, that could be... I mean, here's the thing. My original plan... Beans, boy. My original plan was to go to, like, Wegmans or another, like, fancy grocery store and have them grind the beans for me, but I couldn't be bothered, so I just bought them from, like, a grocery store. Next time, I'm probably going to get them freshly ground. Because that way we can also have them ground more coarsely. That we're going to have them ground a bit more coarsely.
Have some of that real good bean juice.
Bean juice. I saw a video a while ago on beans, which maybe I'll share at some point.
I like how you put that little pause out. I saw a video a while ago.
Just reminiscing on... Okay, here's the thing.
Beans.
Beans are inherently funny. Like, we can all agree beans are just inherently funny.
Beans are pretty
funny. They just are. Like, something about them just makes them funny. And so, I think a good bit of bean reminiscing never hurts anyone. They're great. They're just great.
I need to cook more. I guess somewhat on the topic of beans. I have not practiced cooking enough to go to school.
I've also been practicing with, like, my pad sauces lately and, like, deglazing. So, like, this morning, I made some scrambled eggs, and I decided to try... So what I did was I cooked up some, like...
Yeah, you're definitely trying harder than everyone else here, by the way.
Here's the thing. I enjoy cooking, and I'm going to be living by myself for, like, 20 days, so I better learn how. Because my family's leaving this weekend.
Just, like, squander literally all of your money eating out.
That didn't happen last semester.
Not at all.
Not at all. But, like, here's the thing. I just enjoy cooking. Like, I just like doing it. And so what I did is I actually tried applying a pan sauce technique to scrambled eggs. So what I did was I cooked some seekh kebab, which is like a Middle Eastern type of like, it's basically like a Middle Eastern hot dog. I really like them. They're good. So I cooked some in like a nonstick pan, right? And I let them... So basically, when you make a pan sauce, use this thing called a fond, which is when you cook a meat, right? It leaves some like stuff on the bottom of the pan, and that stuff is basically just kind of like cooked meat essence. It's like fat and like protein, and it's really good if you can get it off the pan and mix it in with some stuff. So what I did was I cooked the kebab for a little bit, I threw in a knob of butter and used that to scrape up all of the meat essence, and then put my eggs in, and that came out pretty good. Like, the eggs tasted like the kebab. Like, it got some of that flavor. And I did cook them a little longer. I normally like a soft scramble, but I think they came out pretty good, so I'm going to be experimenting with that. I originally wanted to use hot dogs, but we were out, so I just had to use the seekh kebabs. So yeah, that was good. And I think that's pretty good on time, too. Ready to wrap this up, Alex? So, thank you for listening to this episode of Sleepdrunk. Remember... Crap, wait, never mind. We didn't do a song of the day last time. Well, we will for this one. So... Thank you for listening to this episode of Sleepdrunk. Remember that the first person to get the song of the day on any of our social media or via email will receive a shout out in the next episode. The song of the day for last episode wasn't one because it was a special, and so we decided to bleep it. And also, don't forget to share the show. Share it to your friends, to any people you might know, chefs, some people you met in the last 3 weeks, Action Bronson, YG. Share it. Spread the word. Really helps us grow. And really appreciate it.
We got to get Tyga on.
Yeah, especially Tyga. And yeah, we got to get them on. So yeah, really share it. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and the Sleepdrunk podcast can be found on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, maybe even YouTube, and more. In fact, we'll catch you next week.
We will catch you next week.